Patagonia is located at the south of Chile, where the American continent ends. With no more than 3,100 people, the Chilean Patagonia is well known for its beautiful landscapes and is also known as Austral Zone. It is extended for more than 2,000 kilometers from north to south and is characterized because of its prestigious lands, discovered 500 years ago and maintained until today. The land of the Big Feet, as Ferdinand Magellan named it, is full of mountains. It also has some volcanoes, forests, glaciers, and icebergs. That's why the cold steppe and cold humid climate, as well as the windy weather, are present during the year. If you're an adventure person, you can go trekking, you can do kayaking, go on boat trips, or go whale watching within the most known places: Torres del Paine, Tierra del Fuego, or even the Strait of Magellan. And these prestigious lands, beautiful lakes, great mountains, and incredible forests are not the only things you could discover in Patagonia. You will also be able to find amazing towns where you can enjoy a lot of gastronomy for lunch or dinner, such as Magellan's Lamb. You can also experience the traditions, playing some typical games or dances that they have. Although this is one of the regions with the lowest demographic indices in the country according to the census of 2017, many tourists come visit these amazing touristic zones in December and February, when the austral summer takes place. Now that you know where Patagonia is, let's know more about its geography, natural landscapes, and cultural things that we can find in this beautiful place at the edge of the world.
Chile has four important geographical features. Two of them are the Andes mountain range and the coastal mountain range. The coastal mountain range, which extends from the north of Chile, disappears in the peninsula of Taitao in the Aysén region, and the Andes mountain range starts to get smaller and finally ends in Tierra del Fuego in the Magallanes region. The Patagonia is located in three regions of Chile. It begins in the Los Lagos region, then we have the Aysén region, and finally ends in Magallanes and Antarctica region. In this part of Chile, we can find different types of climates due to the relief that we have in that zone. In Aysén, for example, there is an area that has islands and archipelagos, and that's why its climate is principal oceanic climate. It has a lot of precipitations, strong winds, and high humidity, so be prepared for rainy days if you want to go. Due to the same, higher temperatures only can reach the 18 Celsius degrees. If you are a cold weather person, you will be in love with that zone. For the other side of Aysén, in Coyhaique, its capital, we can find a cold steppe. This zone has a natural barrier of mountains, so it has less precipitation, but yet still they have 1,500 millimeters of rain a year. On the other side of Patagonia, in Magallanes, we also have a variety of climates depending on the zone that we visit. We are going to encounter a cold semi-arid steppe, cold temperate zone, or tundra weather. A common characteristic of all these climates is that this zone always has low temperatures and strong winds all year long. So once again, a cold weather person will love this part of the world. The lakes, snow drifts, and rivers make that the climate could vary depending on the zone. On the other hand, in the east part of Patagonia, the rainfalls are much less because all the humidity is taken by the mountains. This zone has a lot of winds, but it has a climate much better for humans to live in. In the transcendent zone, we have a semi-arid steppe, so don't be surprised if you discover a completely different landscape in this region. Then, those things mentioned before are the main reason why Patagonia has a lot of climates and where we can have a lot of glaciers, mountains, fjords, archipelagos, and islands. They can keep themselves due to the cold weather and the relief in the zone. The cold weather helps to maintain the geography of the place, and the physical geography forces the sun to have low temperatures. undoubtedly they have a perfect match that give us incredible national parks with a diversity of landscapes. Stay until the end of the video to be astonished with all the wonders of Patagonia.
Although the main reason for people to travel to Patagonia are the amazing views and touristic attractions due to the conservation of the lands, they are not the only thing that is still in the zone. Regional crafts are inspired by nature, traditions, and also by native people. Pottery, basketry, carpentry, goldsmithing, and fish leather work are some of the crafts that they are still present in the zone. Although there are no more indigenous people in the area, many people consider themselves as belonging to the culture of these native people. We can see it reflected, for example, in pottery, because people that work in this area look for reflection with special techniques to get the wealthiest pictographs on their creations, to preserve their heritage. A clear example of the preservation of culture by people is the work that Martín González did. He was a Yagan descendant, and throughout his life, he dedicated his time to keep alive the lifestyle of the natives on the zone, and also the Yagan basketry, which is a craft that he learned thanks to his mother. Even when he already died, the legacy is still in the region because of the positive valoration that this kind of artisany does. And as well as he knew about basketry, he knew about riverside carpentry. The way that we build canoes and boats are part of the familiar heritage, and he was able to maintain it not just in the family, but in their community. Nowadays, Martín is still remembered because it was an essential part of the culture. But just as they work, they also celebrate. You can enjoy more than 50 traditional festivals. You can find all kinds of cultural activities in just a couple of days. And you can also dance with the most popular rhythm in the zone that since 1900 has been very famous. It is called chamamé, and although it was born in Argentine territory, nowadays it is danced in Chilean Patagonia. Due to its lively and energetic rhythm, it usually livens up the stoop. And if that weren't enough, if you're bored, you can learn how to play la taba. This is a characteristic game in the region, and it consists in throwing a taba 8 meters away and betting which of the sides is going to be up or down. And last but not the least, the southernmost region of Chile offers us gastronomy such as the roast in a stick with cooked potatoes, and, as you might know, the amazing Magellan's lamb. In Aysén, people usually drink mate tea, which is a common caffeine-rich infusion that pioneers brought to Chile. It could be prepared in different ways. For example, you can drink it with herbs such as manzanilla or menta. Also, you can add orange juice. People prefer it because it's an easy preparation and it could be drunk at any time of the day. But even when it's an easy preparation, it requires technique, and of course, you have to let them teach you to make the best mate tea in the world. Finally, in this part of the world, you can find a shrub whose fruit is a blackish blueberry, also known as calafate, which is used to make jams, jellies, syrups, and even alcoholic beverage. There's an ancient Selknam myth that says that whoever eats calafate will be forced to return to Patagonia. All of this gastronomy is accessible to any pocket because there's a lot of different places where you can find them and different prices and preparations.
To conclude this magnificent trip through Patagonia, you must know the places that you have to visit. There is a route of national parks in Patagonia that is composed of 17 parks. Queulat National Park is one of them. Its name comes from the Chonos language, and it means waterfall sounds. It is located in the Asian region and is the most visited place in the zone, as well as it has the least altered areas by humanity. Due to the vastness of the place, here you can go fishing, hiking, bird watching, flora and fauna watching, trekking, and even navigate the lagoons that this place has. Some of the birds and animals that you can find here are the black woodpecker, condor, kudu, and puma. And if that is not enough, you can see the magnificent hanging snowdrift. This is a place on the top of a mountain where the snow and ice are kept during the year. San Rafael Lagoon National Park is the biggest park in the Asian region. If you visit this park, you will be surprised with all kinds of postcards, as ice fields, glaciers, lagoons, etc. One of the principal reasons why people visit this park is because the San Rafael Lagoon, located in the south of Moradella Channel, in the foot of the North Ice Fields, led in the famous San Rafael Glacier, which is preserved 30,000 years ago. Here you can venture in the Scorpius Cruise, where you can enjoy the trip drinking a classic whiskey on the rocks, with Millennium ice from the glacier. Also in this park we can find trails with beautiful vegetation that led to the snowdrift and glacier San Rafael. In the Asian region we can also find the Bernardo Higgins National Park, which is the biggest park in Chile and the largest in the world. Something that characterizes this park is the fact that here we can find 49 glaciers of the South Ice Fields. Besides that, this park shelters the biggest population of huemules, which in Chile is considered a natural monument. Here you can navigate the Última Esperanza fjords towards Balmaceda and Serrano glaciers. You can also visit Jorge Montt Glacier on kayak.
In the Magallanes region, we can find the Paliaiken National Park. Its name means desolate place, and although it is hard to believe, it's more than 5,000 hectares of lands, volcanoes, and pampas that are accompanied by a landscape and vegetation of a semi-arid place. If you're lucky, you will see guanacos, armadillos, and other animals, and of course, you could do trekking and hiking in this park. In this place, you can find the Paliaiki Cave that was declared a national monument in 1969. This cave even contains cremated human skeletons, a very helpful thing to know how funeral ceremonies were taken. And of course, it gives us data on the physical characteristic of these people. A good place to go if you want to know more of the culture. In this place you will also find a lot of calafate berry. There's a lot of shops all over the place. The myth is that Calafate, a beautiful girl daughter of a very important king and a man who wanted to join her tribe, fell in love but it wasn't accepted by the rest. So an old man made a spell to separate them both. She was converted into a shrub and he, with the help of the spirits, was converted into a bird. The bird spent all his life searching for the same love. He went through every single place, from summer to winter, until one day he sat down into a shrub with fruits that he had never seen before. He tasted them and he knew that they were as sweet as his beloved calafate. So be careful if you eat calafate in this region, because you will want to come back as soon as possible, for sure.
And finally, one of the most important attractions in Magallanes region is Torres del Paine National Park, formed around 12 million years ago, which in 2013, after a contest with 5 million votes, was recognized as the 8th wonder of the world, thanks to its turquoise lakes, gorgeous forests and Princeton glaciers. To enjoy the beautiful landscapes in this park, you can do different touristic activities, such as kayaking, rowing, or travel by boat to visit attractions such as Glacier Grave. Something that you can't miss is the beautiful sunrise at Laguna Amarga, where sometimes the torres are reflected in the water. If you love waterfalls, you can't leave the park without visiting Salto Grande. This park is also home to species such as puma, huemul, ñandúa, and guanaco. Besides that, in Punta Arenas, the capital of Magallanes, you can enjoy an incredible experience. You can go to Nueva Victoria Museum and find the full-scale replica of Hernando de Magallanes ship. This is the only place where you can experience how Hernando de Magallanes arrived in this part of the world, although you are not going to sail in the sea as he did. The ship has artillery, navigation instruments, and other things that will help you to live an unforgettable experience. In the southernmost part of Chile, we can find the Cape Horn, located specifically in the Magallanes region. It's a place full of adventures and nature for those people that want to know the wonders that the southernmost place in the world gives to us. This place was discovered by Dutches from the city of Horn, which name came to be an inspiration for the Cape Horn title. In the present, this place became the Cape Horn National Park, a worldwide biosphere reserve, according to UNESCO. In there, you will be able to meet the shores of the Beagle Channel and also navigate across it. You also can go to the mountain range of the Teeth of Navarino and practice some trekking, where you will be able to appreciate an incredible view of Cape Horn. Also, if you enjoy archaeology, you should visit the city of Puerto Williams, which in addition to being considered the southernmost city in the world, There you can find the vestiges of the culture of the Yaganes or Yamanas, the first aborigines of this area. Finally, in this part of the world, you can do magnifying glass tourism. In this extreme place, very few species of trees grow, but the trees itself, on the rocks and underground, one of the smallest ecosystems on Earth is hidden. So come and enjoy this new type of tourism in one of the best parts of Chile.
Now, you have more than one reason to come and discover this wonderful place full of culture, tourism, and landscapes that are waiting for you. And even on the edge of the continent, undoubtedly you'll have an unforgettable experience.